Look, viewers, I know we go on. You got to follow us. You got to stay with us and hang with this, okay? You got to get all of it, because at the end it's going to bang. It's going to click all together. It's compelling and it's awesome stuff. So hang with this, all right? Because unlike other folks, we don't cut and snip and leave little things out and try to selectively edit. You know what I mean? I mean, look, we got our bias like anybody else, but we show the work more than anybody else out there, and that's why you can trust us, and you know that we deliver, and you know that we have all the links and all the supporting materials, right? Now, has no chance to win. Yes, he has no chance to win. And someone with his views has no business representing me and the good citizens of this district. The moral of this story, be skeptical. Very skeptical. I am skeptical, Lisa. I'm skeptical of you. I'm skeptical of this article. I'm skeptical of the motives behind this. Now, what's important about this is this whole thing was about Beadles, right? And it came out of that in that kind of angle, the controversy. And a normal story would have been like, well, here's what this guy said, and then here's what Beadles said, and then here's, you know, Beadles' view and why he said this, and here's our view and why we said this, and this and that, whatever. He never discussed in all, I mean, we'll have to count the words before a newspaper, this is huge. No discussion at all about what Beadles' views are or why we had a problem with them.
Yep.
No discussion. Can't talk about that. You know why? Because it's way out there on the fringe, and that's her source.
Right.
Because she's trying to prop him up and take out, for whatever reason, when we talk about possible motives, and take out the leading candidate on the Republican side. Or that's how it appears to us. All of this, by the way, in this video from front to back, start to finish, is our opinion. We're not making any kinds of legal claims or otherwise. This is all our personal opinion. But in my opinion, it doesn't smell right. How can you have a story, a front page story about this race, and you're talking about me instead of the people in the race? And you're talking about the campaign image. How can you have a front page story about a controversy, about a post, without talking about what the post was really about? About talking about this guy going on Alex Jones' show and saying this. And again, we have the links over here. And that's, I'll stop everyone right there. You can think I'm an idiot, I have a big mouth, you don't like the way I look, you don't like my last name, whatever it is, fine. Maybe you're the hardest core Democrat in the world, fine. I'm saying just look at the facts. Go to the links. Check the links. Check the facts. Look at what Beadles has said and is on his own site. Look at what his posters have said on their own site. Is Beadles responsible for that? Heck, go to the Contra Costa Times and look at all the people who post on their site. Is Lisa Vorderbrueggen responsible for everything that's posted on that site?
Was Robert Beadles a good administrator of his own site on what some of the people wrote there?
Right.
Administrator.
Right, was he a good administrator? Was almost like, can you trust the Contra Costa Times if they don't administrate closely their site? And people are saying, you know, crazy. She told me, if I remember right, that they don't, you know, because she can't, you know, they let anyone basically say whatever because you can't fool around with it because there's too much stuff in it. Just like ours. We have so much freaking traffic. I have 1,000, usually on a lot of days, I have up to 1,000 emails, texts, phone calls, comments, and everything to freaking go through. And I can't, you know, I can't do it. Nobody can. Okay? I mean, and so let's get to this. Let's get to several issues of what's really going on and who really is Lisa Vorderbrueggen. That's what we need to get down to, right? In this context, professionally, I don't care about your personal, whatever. You have fun. That's awesome, you know. But it's like, well, first of all, let's shred this article from different directions. If the article is about anonymous sources that you can't trust anonymous sources, your whole story started from an anonymous source, anonymous tip. So what's that, right? If the story then is that we can't trust blogs over traditional media, well, why is traditional media losing viewers and readership and revenue all the time? What is the internet coming up more and more and more? Why is that? why are you using Facebook and things like that to kind of get to me if you don't like the new media and you don't trust that kind of stuff, right? If the issue is you're credible and I'm not, well, let's step back. If the issue then is you are the arbiter to decide what someone should or shouldn't do in terms of disclosing stuff on our site, that's like me telling you who should and shouldn't write for the Contra Costa Times or what your editorial policy should be. Who are you? You don't tell us anything. Or is the issue that now you're gonna tell us who is and shouldn't be trusted? That doesn't sound too objective to me, Lisa. That doesn't sound like reporting to me. Huh. That sounds kind of like an opinion. Now let me ask you this. Would you, I mean, if we're going to compare you versus me in terms of credibility, let's see. Let's think about that. Well, we'll come back to that in a second. There's just too much of it. If the issue is me and my credibility, we'll deal with that. If the issue is whether or not it was a fair criticism of Beadles that one of our posters made, that we then examined ourselves and then backed up, why don't we examine what that criticism was? You know, because he's actually running for office. I'm not. See, I'm not in the vote getting business. I'm in the audience getting business, and you're helping me out. He's in the vote getting business. You're supposed to be in the news business. I'm not sure how that's working out. So, I mean, Paul, help me out here. Every way I look at this article, it's kind of garbage.
Yeah, look, there's two things that the viewers need to know. We teased them earlier, and that is how this story developed and what Lisa Vorderbrueggen's story is trying to accomplish. How the story developed was this. John got a call, sometime last week.
Email.
Of the Contra Costa Times. And he gave her the information, he gave her the background information about the blog post in question, etc. But then about midweek, I think John got back to Lisa or something, and basically, to make a long story short, we got wind of what was coming. We kind of had an idea of what was going to come.
I already knew. I knew from the beginning.
And so we put up the 5-part series that Lisa mentions in her article. We scooped her, and so we made her redirect the story in a way that she didn't really want to do. And so what happened then is that Lisa tried to go around John and contact somebody else to get more dirt on John, because then it became, okay, you scooped, well, in my opinion, it became, okay, you scooped my story, so now we're going to try to get more dirt on you and dig you even further. Because you ruined my first angle, so now let's try to get a second angle. So that's important, and John will speak on that in just a second. Now, just a brief overview of what this article by Vorderbrueggen is trying to accomplish. In a nutshell, it is, okay, just an outline. It is, an honest, right in controversy. The controversy on the right, she's using a guy, Robert Beadles, who has no chance, in our opinion, of winning this thing. He is a pawn for her to hit at Brad Gehring, who we believe is the front runner and the best guy to actually challenge McNerney for the seat. So she's using Robert Beadles against Brad Gehring. And what she's saying about us is, don't trust them, you can't trust them, but you can trust this other conservative blog because they take, they're careful and they will, they'll fire or get rid of people that are anonymous. But don't trust those evil conservative new media guys. They're a little bit, whatever. And they're mercenaries and all. It's just, it's classic journalism media 101. This is a hit job meant to minimize us, meant to create supposed controversy on the right where it doesn't exist. And as John pointed out, she never even mentions what the blog post was about. She doesn't even go into why this Robert Beadles was being called out in the first place.
That's not news. He's just running for Congress. I mean, do you understand how insane this is? Do you understand? I mean, let me ask you this. You want to talk about who's responsible? This is the hilarity of the whole thing. She's going to say that we're not responsible for looking over every single post that our, dozens of writers now post on any given day because we're knee deep in so much work and so many different things. But yet, we're not supposed to comment as conservative media. Hello? as political, insiders, as pros, as the whole 9 yards about and voters. I actually vote in this district. See, I'm a voter in this district, Lisa. Okay.
Not only are you a voter, you're a Republican voter, so it matters to you to get the best candidate as a GOP.
Right.
We don't even know if Lisa votes in the district. We don't know if she's a GOP primary voter. Come on.
We don't even know if she votes. We don't even know if she votes. I don't even know if she votes. You know what I mean? And the thing is that so you're telling me that it's irresponsible, but it's not responsible for us to point out facts about these candidates. Hello? Because we can't choose a side. It's a primary, okay? We're supposed to say we like this, we don't like this, whatever. When we see something we like, we're going to get out there, whatever like that. I mean,